from sunny California. I participated in a Solana hackathon. Should you do it as well? What was the experience? I have so many different things that I learned, and it's about, many hot button topics. It's about age, it's about gender, it's about the culture there in the San Francisco location that I attended for almost 2 weeks. It's about the Solana developer experience, and it's about that whole hackathon culture. So make sure to watch this live stream, short live stream, all the way to the end, because I have a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's dive right in. So with the Solana hackathon, it is exactly this thing here. So it's still on the Solana website. It was back in August, and it's an online hackathon. That means it's not your traditional hackathon where, you just go there and, people are kind of locked into a room and are coding like for 72 hours without sleeping and stuff like that. So it was mainly an online hackathon, but they had a few locations here, as you see. So I chose the San Francisco location and participated there, even though it was quite close to our office in San Francisco. So I could have stayed in our San Francisco office, but I wanted to have the full experience. So I just set up shop, so to say, took my laptop and whatever I needed, and worked from that San Francisco hackathon location that they had there. And that was operated by Phantom, which is the most used wallet in the Solana platform these days. So I was there for almost 2 weeks, showed up there. I thought like, man, this is a Solana hackathon. And, they had the updates coming all the time, like how many people have signed up. In the end, we had 18,000 teams signing up for that Solana hackathon. And they basically do one every quarter, right? So there's a Solana hackathon each and every quarter these days. So 18,000 teams, that was crazy, right? And it seemed, most of them were just online, right? They were just, taking the documentation that they had, and then Solana had a few ideas of what you can build on Solana. And we already had our own project. We're building our own blockchain that interacts with Solana. We're not really building a Solana app like your classical thing that most of these hackathon participants will be doing. And I'll get to that later, what that actually means. But we're building a storage blockchain interacting with Solana, and which is then a storage layer for Solana. And you can see that here on the Bitoku.io website. So Bitoku is my company. I started that. And I went to that hackathon with them. And as you see, we're starting the public node sale very soon, 6 days left. So if you want to be part of that, go to bitoku.io, link in the description, and see what's in there for you. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity to get in there, get your personal node license earlier than everyone else at a great price. So anyway, participated in that hackathon with our Bitoku blockchain, and I thought like, well, probably it's not a Solana app, and we have a Solana app, which is our node store, right, where people can buy those node licenses for the Bitoku blockchain. So we kind of rebranded that node store to generalize it to the general public so that anyone can do that crowdfunding that we're doing for our nodes, and called it Right Now, and submitted that as well. And so what was the experience? First of all, not all too many people there, right? And then the first few days I was there, they didn't even have monitors, right? And then they figured out, oh, there's a few guys there that actually participate in the hackathon, and they come with their laptops, but they need a monitor, obviously, for coding, right? So I kind of mentioned that towards the guy that was running that location. And it was basically Brian Friel. So Brian, if you're watching this, he's the developer relations guy from Phantom. So great person. It was awesome to meet him, and yeah, we have some selfies with him and with our team, and Chris was there some of the days, right? So, oh, Chris, my co-founder. So, and yeah, so the thing was there were no monitors, right? And next day they really did it fast, and they had like a dozen, curved Samsung monitors, latest technology and stuff like that. So that was awesome. So that was all obviously paid for by Solana Labs, as I was being told. So Solana Labs is really taking care of their hackathon participants. So that was awesome. And even though it was not crowded, right? Usually we had like, maybe on average, I would say 10 people, a dozen people in there that participate in the hackathon. But that gives you an opportunity to really talk to people and learn what they're doing. And that was awesome. I mean, it was even though maybe just because it was not a huge, crowd in that room or so, it was absolutely worth it to get to know all those people and understand what they are building on the blockchain. And, that was just awesome just from the co-participants, right? So I met so many really cool people there. And obviously we had some, after work parties there as well, which were organized, and it was all great. So that was awesome, right? What also happened, like, I was working only from that location. So I was there in the morning, right? Like, I don't know, 8:30 or so, right? And most of the guys just showed up, I would say, after lunch. So it was only in the afternoons and then evenings when it was crowded. And then Phantom and Solana, they had events like talks most of the time at like 5 p.m. And people were talking about their projects and, about the infrastructure that Solana provides. And there was even a Rust course and stuff like that. So it was well worth it. The food was kind of so-so, I would say. So Phantom, Brian, for the next hackathon, get some better food, huh? Anyway. But they provided food. That was great, right? And we had coffee and everything. So what shocked me, though, about age, and I mentioned that in the beginning, I met so many high school graduates there participating in that hackathon, right? And it was awesome. It's telling me, hey, this is really the future, what we're building on. And it should be obvious to anyone, but this new technology, it's being adopted more and more by the young people, and I absolutely love that. And you see stats on the internet also. Just Google it. What's the age group of people that can see themselves investing in crypto, right? It's that curve, like, early 20s, it's high, and then it goes down and down and down and down. I don't know why that is. I'm not exactly in my early 20s anymore. Yeah. So, and I love crypto, and I love decentralization, and helping to get the world in a new mode, which is a decentralized mode that's owned by the community rather than owned by a few large companies. I absolutely despise being controlled by a few big guys that, profit off of it without really letting anyone understand easily how it all works and what they're profiteering off, right? So I love that sort of, the whole decentralized mode of society, right? And we're getting there. It's unstoppable. So if you still think like, oh, it's not going to happen, it's unstoppable. It's definitely unstoppable. And all the world's IT infrastructure is being rebuilt anyway, if you like it or not, on blockchain technology. It's called Web3. and it's being built right now. It's not a reality as of today for so many people. You can't just open your laptop and, oh, here's, let's use some Web3 today. There's a lot of stuff there, but it's for a small group of people that are enthusiasts. And this whole thing just reminds me of the early 90s, when we were in the early days of the internet, right? The group that was using it was so small back in the day, but we all knew it's gonna be big, and it'll change the world, and we didn't know how back in the day. We did not know, how can anyone, is it just a hobbyist thing, right? Can anyone make money with it, and things like that, right? So, and it reminds me so much of the early days of the internet that we're now in with crypto and blockchain and everything, and that's what excites me. So it was really cool to see so many young guys. What was kind of off-putting to me is, I was not seeing, honestly, in those whole 2 weeks, and I met probably 100 people there, and those were all, without exception, they were all male, right? So there was not a single woman or girl there. So we should definitely all work to get more people, more females into crypto, right? And also that reminds me of the early days of the internet, right? It was all males back in the day. I have no idea where that effect is coming from. If you know, let me know in the comments. What I also learned on the hackathon is that even while you're on a hackathon, the thumbs up button for the likes looks still the same, right? So it is still there. So please give this video a like so that you can help spread the word. And also subscribe to my channel, Blockchain Bernie. I'm broadcasting mostly live about blockchain in general, but also like a log of the making of Bitoku, our own storage chain. So just subscribe so that you don't miss it. And yeah. All right. So what else was it that I learned there? The Solana developer experience. It is, Solana is targeting developers. Their growth and their mass adoption depends on developers. It depends on apps that are built on top of Solana, the fastest blockchain in the world, in order to, conquer the world. and they know that. So they take care of their developers. They have, great resources. They have a great Discord, by the way. Lots of things are going on there. And we as Bitoku also have a Discord. You see it there in the top right. So make sure go to bitoku.io, link in the description, and join our Discord to learn more about Bitoku and to learn more about the upcoming node sale. Yeah, so the developer experience was good. I love Rust. I learned Rust because of, the Bitoku project, and I absolutely fell in love with that programming language. I started with C back in the day. I know C++ and all these type of things, right? And I know Python and Ruby, and I'm a big Ruby fan. I also love Clojure. I had major projects done in Clojure, which is pure functional programming with Lisp syntax. It is really cool. But I tell you, if you need to do something close to the hardware, some system programming, and you want to have it safe in the sense that it's not easy to get memory leaks. That's the big problem with C, C++, some other language. Either you have it unsafe, so it's easy to create memory leaks, as in C, C++, or you have what's called garbage collection, which collects your memory garbage, but that is unacceptable for performance reasons in many environments. So Rust solves both of these, and it's a really, really nice language. It also has a nice developer experience. Then in order to write a Solana app, we were using what's called the Anchor framework that is supposed to make Solana programming a little bit more approachable, which it does, but it has crazy limitations, and it took us so many days and days of our lifetime to figure out these limitations, right? Solana accounts can only be with Anchor, I believe 8K or something, which is really small. But then by default, Anchor constantly serializes and deserializes it, right? So even if you have like 800 bytes, 1200 bytes, it will be serialized, and then it goes into 8K, and then they push it on the stack. I don't know for what reason the Anchor framework pushes it on the stack. I didn't tell them to do it, but it's got to be pushed on the stack, and then Solana has that 8K stack limit. And it is crazy to figure out these limitations. They are not really documented anywhere, and to work around them, right? We could work around them with a concept called zero copy, but that concept is undocumented, but it's actually needed to do anything real on Solana. So that was kind of the downside of the Solana developer experience. And we learned from that when building our Bitoku SDK that is built for Solana to interface directly with our Bitoku chain. We will not be using the Anchor framework for that. We will do it on Solana native. All right. So yeah, that was what I learned. If you want more of this content and you want to stay up to date about the developments of the Bitoku blockchain, please consider subscribing to my channel. As mentioned, I'm mostly broadcasting live, so there's no, no editing or anything like that. And thanks for watching, and catch you later.